Hi, it's Jack from JDRC, and today we're going to be talking about batteries. So, this is an Onyx 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride. It's 5,000 milliamps, as it says right there. This battery is a lower output battery. Only reason why I say that is because it's a nickel metal hydride. See, it has that curved shape. Most LiPos don't have that, and this means it has individual like C-sized cells, 6 of them inside, and they're in series, so it looks like this, which means there's a battery with a plus minus, plus minus, plus minus, connecting to plus minus, plus minus, plus minus out to these. So somewhere on here it's like a plus and a minus. This is a 6 cell, as I said before, and that means it has okay output. It's weaker in voltage than a LiPo battery, because LiPo batteries have a high output. This is like I said before, 5,000 milliamps, and that means it has about 20 minutes to half an hour runtime. This is a no-name 2,000 milliamp battery, which I wrapped in electrical tape because I accidentally tore the heat shrink coating or whatever is on here. Some plastic coating. It's flexible. And it's very brittle, as in if you accidentally poke it with something, it will crack like a plastic, because it is a plastic. It's not like rubber. This is electrical tape, which means it kind of has rubbery properties. As in, if I took this, if I can get this. It stretches. So, that's electrical tape. And I wrapped it in that so I could run this in the water. Online at eBay, I just ordered an Axial SCX10. For those of you who don't know what that is, Google it. So what this allows me to do is allows me to run the car in water. I'm gonna waterproof the electronics inside, like the ESC. I already bought a waterproof servo. I bought a waterproof receiver. Brush motors are always waterproof because unless you're running in very mucky water, there's not very much in the water, and water isn't such a great conductor, so it doesn't short out the motor. I know a lot of you are thinking, well, you're crazy, you put anything electric in water, it's gonna short. Not always. So that's why I wrapped this in electrical tape. And this one is a battery I just bought from Hobby Parts down in Tacoma. And it comes with, it was $35, and it comes with a Tamiya or Molex connector, whatever you guys call those. I've heard it called both. Reason why people don't really like these much is because they have very bad connection. You can see on this one, I bought a Dean's plug, which is a T plug, and that means it's a T. It goes in like that. It's a great plug. It's built for high voltage because you have a lot more contact with two complete flat pieces of metal touching each other instead of, I don't know if you can see very well, but inside there they're just like little bullet connectors that would focus. I'm using my phone right now, so it's not going to focus as well as normal. Whatever. Yeah, it doesn't have very good connection, so I'm going to switch that out to a Dean's. This is just from my charger. So these batteries are okay. You would want to run them if you're doing something in water, because LiPo batteries will blow up if you put those in water, unless you buy a waterproof LiPo battery or dip it in Plastidip, which I'll talk about later. they are not waterproof. They'll explode. So that's why I wrap this in electrical tape, and I'm going to Plasti Dip this. Now, for those of you who don't know, Plasti Dip is basically I had to buy this at like Home Depot, but it's basically a big tube of liquid rubber, and the tube is about 9 inches tall or something like that. And that means I can take a battery, take the tube, dip the battery in, take it out, and it will be completely rubber coated from something like up here all the way down to the bottom, which means I could submerge this in water, plug in a motor, and I'll have no problems. You can do that with some LiPo batteries, but you can't really do it with this kind. I'm not saying the brand kind, I'm talking about the kind that has the little connectors like this. Because unless you're planning to keep these always plugged into there, you can't really waterproof those. And if water touches these two or the center one, then it's going to short circuit and your battery might blow up. It's very highly likely that it will, but yeah, be careful with that. So don't try to waterproof these kind. Only try to waterproof LiPos if they have the kind that comes directly out like this. Oop, I dropped it. It comes directly out like this of the battery, no plugs, whatever. Or if it comes out on like one side only. Don't have the kind that come out on both sides, just to be safe, because you don't want the things touching each other. So like I said, these would be okay to run in water. These, no. So, if these kind LiPo batteries have a way higher output rating, so if you're running in rough terrain, it won't bog down your motor as much because it'll just put out more energy, so you don't get bogged down. Bogging, for those of you who don't know, is when your car's running, it hits like a bump or something, it's trying to go over and it slows down a lot and then stops or whatever. And so that's bogging. You do not want that to happen. So that's what a LiPo battery does. It stops that from happening, and they usually hold a charge longer. It might not be like hours or whatever, or it's not going to be an hour unless you have like a, I don't know, 20,000 milliamp, whatever. Milliamps stand for how much capacity they have. Focus. There we go. Milliamps stand for capacity. So 5,000 milliamps gets you around, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes of runtime. Unlike these, which have 6 cells usually, sometimes there's 7 cells, or sometimes it's a hump pack, which has a 7th cell right there. These have this is a 2-cell, as you can see there, but it has higher energy than a 6-cell nickel metal. This is also a 6-cell nickel metal, 5,000, which means it has the same capacity. This will run a tiny bit longer because it's a LiPo than this one, but these are waterproof, so that's why I bought it. Or they're water resistant. Nothing is waterproof, which means, oh, I accidentally dropped this in a lake. No biggie. Just dry it off first. These kind, you can't do that. But if you waterproof it, nothing's really waterproof because there's always some possibility that water can get inside to like a hole or underneath the plastic or whatever. I don't know. The only way to really waterproof it is to dip it all the way in Plasti Dip, even up the wires, and then put a little bit of Plasti Dip around here. That's the only way to completely waterproof it, or else it's not really waterproof. Sorry, I'm just screwing around. I'm kind of bored right now. I have nothing to do today. So yeah, that's the deal about nickel metals and lipos. So, oh, okay. So I don't know if you can see, I don't know if it shows up on the camera very well, but see how this says 20C? That means this puts out 20C's worth of energy. And whenever you need a spike, which means if your motor needs more energy, it will pump out a max of 40C. Usually the constant is, I don't know, constant could be whatever, but usually the peak is double the constant. So if you have a constant of 65 or 60, the peak will be 120 usually. Sometimes it varies because different manufacturers make different spec lipos, or yeah. This is a 20C. It's okay for like beginners. I bought a 3-cell 40C in my other car. I don't have it with me right now. These don't have a C rating, and from what I understand, the higher the milliamps, the higher output. So you never, ever want to buy anything below like 4,000 milliamps. This is a 5,000. This is a 2,000. This is very, very, very weak. This will not push a lipo very well. This will not push a brushless system very well. Brushed, a little better, but not as good as you could with the lipo. This will power a brushless system okay. You're not going to get the max performance out of it, but this will be okay for a brushless. This is fine for a brush no matter what. That's why I bought this, because I'm buying an Axial SCX10 like I said before, and I bought a Tekin FXR 45 turn motor combo, and that's for this. I'm gonna plasti dip it, or I might run my 3-cell lipo. It's gonna be waterproof. I'll plasti dip that, no problems there. And so, yeah, I think that's it for my video today. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.